Hey guys, it's Ben. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm bringing you guys my long-awaited Spider-Man 3-pack from No Way Home. Now I do say long-awaited pre-order because this was something that I did pre-order from Hasbro about mid last year. It's almost about a year to the date in the summer when they first announced it. I know it's a little underwhelming and it's a little overpriced at the $90 price point. It is an exclusive Hasbro 3-pack and so I just had to have it. I did showcase my Daredevil one a couple months ago and that one set me back about $75. So for an extra $15, you don't really get much added into this pack, especially being all three Spider-Men. And at least with the Daredevil pack, you did have an additional alternate heads for both Bullseye and Elektra. For $90, I do understand some people's gripes with this one, you know, being that you only get all three masked superheroes as opposed to having a Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, or Andrew Garfield. I gotta say, you know, I honestly wasn't gonna grab this pack when it was first announced, but seeing how I didn't have any Andrew in my collection, no matter what the price point was, I was gonna snatch him up. And I know they have other lines like the SH Figuart line, which do have all three of these Spider-Mans as well, and they have better articulation. However, those figures, that price point is at $90 each, as opposed to getting all three for $90. And for the figures, there was some licensing issues, so the Andrew Garfield was also just the masked version. So for $90, I'll take all three, especially since I didn't have this Tom Holland in my set. I can understand other people's frustrations knowing that this Tom Holland Spider-Man, which was not actually accurate to the final suit because of his gauntlets right here, which is kind of funny. It kind of goes with the shirt that I have, and I know it's a little bit more of concept art. I definitely would have liked to have this Tom Holland Spider-Man to be more movie accurate. I also have seen other people complain about how Tobey's mask, his eyes are a little bit further apart. And I think just in that suit alone, his costume does not translate well into action figure form. In total, you do have 3 pairs of hand gestures for each Spider-Man. And unfortunately, obviously, they all pretty much look the same. Each one of them has their own thwipping. All of them do have their fists. It's kind of weird with Tobey and Andrew's, their open palm gestures are a little bit different. You pretty much get the same wall crawling hand gestures for the Tom Holland one that we've seen in other Spider-Man. I am pretty stoked to open this bad boy. Let's just get right into this one. Where is my knife? I never have the knife when it's needed. Full disclaimer, I did receive this 3-pack about a month ago now, but I've been on vacation and there's been some other videos that I wanted to push out, so hopefully this is all good or I will have to be sending an email out to Hasbro, but these tabs are usually easier to take out, so I don't know why this is being difficult for me. All jokes aside, I really hope that this is a pretty good 3-pack and I don't have to be sending any emails out to Hasbro. As you guys have witnessed, some of my last figures that I've gotten, I had reached out to them to get some replacements because either the joints are messed up, the paint apps are not that great, or there have been some missing accessories. So hopefully everything's intact into this 3-pack so I don't have to be sending any one of those not so friendly emails. That's a nice little cardboard 3-pack right here. They usually don't have this extra cardboard, but that's a nice added touch to give them more protection, as you will for $90, you would assume so. Looks like in the 3 bags, you do have each figure's extra hand gestures, as well as the 3 web designs that are all translucent. Got a little paper, don't need that. I'm gonna start off with my least favorite and work my way over, so hopefully you guys stay tuned for the whole video. Starting off first, we do have the Tom Holland, aka Peter 1. Oh, very nice, very nice. I am definitely loving the gold on him. First impressions, the gold paint apps are beautifully well done on this figure. It's actually really cool and it feels a little bit more premium than some of the other Spider-Man. So definitely loving the paint apps. That's one of the biggest gripes with Tom Holland's is his web design are never this like outlined. So seeing it on the actual figure is actually pretty cool. It's still not movie accurate to the live action movie. Now the gauntlets look a little less protruding on this one. I'm assuming he's the shortest one because he definitely looks on the tinier scale. I want to say he's probably a little under 6 inches. I'll have to open up the rest of them and just to see if that is true. He does have the butterfly joints, which is also really cool. There's not much to take away from his leg designs. I really dislike that Hasbro went against putting all of them with the little toe articulations like we got in the Spider-Man Renew Your Vows pack. I just realized I never actually did an unboxing of this Spider-Man, but he is my favorite one so far in my collection. Now, the little toe joints right here, that is awesome. I really wish this was the same mold mold that we got for all the Spider-Man because I think this is just awesome. As opposed to the older version where you don't really have any toe articulation. The ab crunch is there, but it's not as good as the other one. So far, the Renew Your Vow Spider-Man is my peak Spider-Man action figure. That is a little drawback on the 3-pack that they didn't go with that, especially for the $90 price point. Now, let's get off into Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Okay, as I had previously mentioned that this suit just does not translate well into action figure form. This one looks generic. He looks a little pudgy. His arms to body ratio look kind of like on the thicker side. Like I know Tobey has a different body proportion to the rest of them, but he doesn't look this disproportionate when it comes to the arms with the body and the legs. I don't know, there's something off about this one that I am just not feeling right now. That's not something I really like on this one. The one thing that I will mention that changed off of the original Tobey announcement is the fact that he does have an ab crunch, but he also has this little bit of torso separation, which it looks terrible on the back. That just looks off-putting, but from the front it looks better, and I believe in the first version he didn't have any ab crunch whatsoever, so he can bend forward, but I don't like that cut right there. You don't have it on the Tom Holland one. I just don't like how the silver looks on this. You definitely see the shine when you tilt him around, and there are some parts where it looks like it's unpainted, but when I actually turn him around, you do see the silver all around. It looks okay on camera. Definitely not my favorite, but I do like the texture that you do feel on the suit. So far, the Tom Holland action figure is much better than the Tobey one. Definitely not a figure that I would add unless I'm a diehard Tobey Maguire Spider-Man fan. Now, let's get off into the main attraction, the one that I've been wanting for the longest, the one that made me get this 3-pack, so hopefully I'm blown away with this one. So without further ado, we do have the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man. Ooh-wee. Now, right off the bat, I will say I'm not as excited off the paint applications on this one. He definitely looks cool. I love the web eyes and stuff. On camera and actually in hand, his red is way too dark. I was assuming that it was going to be a brighter red, kind of similar to Tom Holland's red. This red looks so much better. This one looks more of a maroon. His red doesn't look like this, especially as you can see on my shirt. He doesn't look like this in the movie, so I'm a little disappointed with that. I know I saw some videos that he was a little bit on the darker side, but I didn't think he was going to be this dark in hand. I really think the Tobey and Andrew one, the colors got swapped. This one is a lighter red with a lighter blue, and this one is a darker red with a darker blue. I think these reds and blues should have been swapped, and it would have been a much better figure for both of them. Same with the Tobey Spider-Man. You do have that weird ab crunch where he does have it, but he also has this slit right here in the midsection. So far, I guess the best one that I would say is the Tom Holland one because I really like that gold shine. I'm not too sold on this. You know, this did set me back $90 to have all 3 of them in my collection, but I think they could have done much better. If you already had this Spider-Man in your collection, obviously you're not going to care for them, and you'd probably really like the Andrew one. But not having this one, I would say that this one is my favorite of the 3 Spider-Men. And here they are all together, and as you can see, for some reason, the Tobey one is the lightest one of the 3, which I don't believe his suit is that blue. In the movie, whether it's the original Sam Raimi one or the actual one that we got in No Way Home, this blue is way too bright, and I think it would have looked really well on this Andrew one. But this Andrew mask head sculpt is probably the best out of the 3. I do love the big web eyes, you know, and the raised webbing and stuff, but I definitely would have liked a lighter version of that one. Now, I'm not really great with posing my figures just yet, but this is as good as I'm getting with the Tom Holland one. He isn't actually standing on his own. He's kind of leaning over. I gotta play with him a little bit more to see what kind of pose I really like him in. That first off pose, it's looking okay, but not having that toe articulation right here is giving me a little bit of issues of balancing him, so I gotta play with him just a little bit. Not for a lack of trying, but I can't get Tobey into any cool looking poses. I try to emulate the pose that is on the box over there, but I don't know. It's something with this left leg over here. I think his arms are just way too short to get him into that pose. His arms aren't long enough to reach the floor without his legs or his arms giving out, where he just topples over a little bit. Kind of disappointed with that. All in all, I would say that I'm not totally blown away, especially with the $90 price point. But if you didn't have a Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in your collection, I would highly recommend it just because these are pretty cool standout Spider-Man from the other Spider-Man that we have in the whole MCU or just in the Marvel line in general. And because this one is my favorite of the three, I had to pick them up regardless of the price. All in all, I would say I am pretty satisfied, not over the moon, filled with joy on the three, but you know, for $90 to get all three Spider-Man, you know, it is a little bit of much, and if you got the money, I would suggest you do so. But if you do have extra money, maybe you'd go down the line of the figures. I chose to go in the a little bit and splurge route, and I am waiting on the Hot Toys Andrew Garfield Spider-Man from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So I'm eagerly anticipating that release, hopefully in the next couple months. I know the release date got pushed back just a little bit, but I am going to be getting the Hot Toys to add to my collection, so that's going to be really cool. And hopefully you guys stick around for that one. It's going to be a blast. So make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and make sure you turn on your notifications. I'm almost at that 500 mark, so hopefully with your continued support, I will get there shortly. From Peter 1, 2, and 3, peace.